Camping, at the least, is a really fun and interesting event that people indulge in. It's one of the activities to do when you're exploring the outdoors. Some people tend to leave their high-value abodes and their mansions and come most times into the woods, set up a tent, a bonfire, and tell tales, and on some occasions, roast marshmallows. It's a fun event, and families find themselves camping at intervals, and even lovers too, as it is always a captivating moment. But camping is done outdoors, and you see people laying to rest in the dead of night, where there might be several things, both known and unknown, lurking all around, and we just might never know. I'll be taking you through some of the scariest camping videos which indicate real-life experiences of campers. We'll kick off the compilation going all the way to Oklahoma to explore and discover the encounter that this YouTuber, Chris Dickinson, who was the owner of the channel called Sooner Sasquatch, which was dedicated to finding evidence and gathering facts about the existence of this mystical creature. In nearly all of his videos, he takes live recordings of the woods, hoping to get a recording of an actual Sasquatch, gathering facts and evidence of the existence of Bigfoot on planet Earth. As with all mythical creature stories, they are most times not spotted during the day, but only make appearances at night when the woods are dark and everyone is probably inside their homes resting, prepping their bodies for the next day. Everyone's asleep in their homes, but not Chris Dickinson, as he set camp outdoors and continued filming to gather more evidence and facts that the Bigfoot creature is actually in existence. On this particular night, he was camping outside and then heard a bit of a noise outside, and, as his curiosity led, he decided to set out with his night vision camera. He got to the point where he heard the noise from and began filming, reporting how the surroundings felt and smelled. The next clip he was able to record was frightening enough for him that at this point, he would literally turn around and go home. But Chris stayed back and filmed some more until he heard an obvious noise and took to his heels. The figure he saw was like a head with two bright eyes. It could literally be anything, but it was obviously something unknown, as it was perceived to have a human stature after staring at the clip for a long period of time. So, did Chris Dickinson actually capture a recording of Bigfoot? Or was it just a scared animal peeping through the bushes? Or maybe this was a video stating the existence of something we don't even know. The outdoors can be a really mysterious place when it comes to the dead of night, as strange things tend to go down, especially during the nighttime. This particular exposure did not happen on a campsite, but it was a YouTuber all right. Homestead How is the name of the YouTube channel owned and managed by a family of 6 all the way in Montero, Wisconsin, in a small and peaceful town with no less than 1,500 inhabitants. The channel is solely focused on the story and life of a family of 6 that supposedly left the city to come and settle, grow, and live on 20 acres of property in Montero, Wisconsin. It was on one of the nights they were out taking pictures of the sky and the Milky Way, getting a cosmic view of the stars and the beauty of the night sky when they came in to take a look at the pictures. Something was spotted high in the sky. Those pictures were so damn clear, and I don't know what anyone thinks, but the figure I'm seeing here looks so much like a UFO. Some viewers saw it and were quick to dismiss the fact that it might have been a UFO, which certainly means alien presence or, as the name goes, unidentified flying object. Some said it was probably a chopper or a jet emitting some very bright light, but this object had an oval shape, almost looking like the spaceships we normally see in movies. So, could this mean that there might be alien life somewhere on Earth? Or the ship was just passing by? But either way, that object was not a jet or an airplane of any kind. There are several kinds of camping, even as the most common is an individual setting out into the woods or into a forest and setting up a tent there to sleep. But in recent times, we have seen examples of people using their vehicles for camping, as to them, it breeds a different sense of security. Normally, some people setting out for a really long journey use their automobiles as a means of a tent, an efficient and mobile tent. There was this young man named Noah. He took his truck out to Sun River, situated in Oregon, and by the woods of Sun River, Noah found a path, a deserted road beside the woods. He decided to drive his truck down the road and park it somewhere by the side. Since it was a really deserted road and given how late it was at that time, he thought it would be an amazing place to camp, but he was terribly wrong. At some point in the night, after he had slept a while, he was forced to get up after he started hearing some noises around the truck.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is, and there's someone walking around my truck. pitch black outside, probably like 2 in the morning, and he just keeps walking around, and he's like really close to my truck. I've never been this scared, and like this doesn't make any sense because I parked somewhere where you couldn't see, no one was on that road. He's literally knocking. He's literally knocking on my truck. The canopy, the back door's locked. I've never been scared before ever. I don't think he knows that there's anyone in here. I'm so scared right now. I wish I brought my gun back here. He keeps walking around. I don't get it. I'm like, how is he not? I've noticed. It doesn't make any sense. We'll see. He's literally peeking through the door right now. I've never been this scared ever. So, the current time is 2:30 in the morning right now. He's still walking around my truck. I'm trying to see if I can flash my light to get him scared.
He started recording them on his camera. He couldn't tell what time it was, but only that it was very late. He was startled, but maintained silence to see what would happen. Then, after some seconds, it appeared that he was not the only one on this lonely road, as someone started knocking on the vehicle repeatedly and even tried to break the lock to get into the vehicle. The next day, when he got back home, that was when he surveyed his truck and saw marks all around and the failed attempts by this person to break into the vehicle, and even marks on the window of the person trying to peek into the vehicle. It was a really scary event at the time. He was lucky to have been safely protected inside that truck, away from any kind of harm. If you were to be the one in that position, what would you have done? Asleep 5 decades, another YouTube channel, but in this case, she was not just camping out in the woods. It was literally another case of someone camping in their car. This time, it was the owner of this YouTube channel. The name of the woman was Lisa, and she decided to camp overnight in her van. This van had been a significant figure in all her time YouTubing, and she had had the van for quite some time that it had a name, the Dream Machine. She used it for her travels and also made camps when it deemed fit. She was camping in the woods, and then at about 4:30, she arose from a very deep sleep by a kind of knocking. Unlike the story of Noah, where the person did everything quietly except the knocking, this person knocked about 3 times, and it was after the 3rd knock she started recording it. The guy continued knocking, and then he said, "Hello," and went on to say, "I have a question for you."
Somebody's back here again. I hear footprints. Hello?
Hello?
How can I help you?
I have a question for you.
It's 4:30 in the morning. I don't feel safe. Who are you?
It was a really terrifying occurrence, more so because she was a woman, and things could have gone horribly wrong. Approaching a van inhabited by a woman at around 4:30 in the morning, and then stating that you have a question for them is so absurd and 100% a warning sign. After this person came and frightened poor old Lisa, she went to the front of the vehicle and saw the headlights of a vehicle parked in the distance, which she presumed to be the vehicle of the man who had come to knock on her vehicle.
So I quietly got up and I went to the front and I peeked out and parked way up on the drive. All I could see is like headlights, and then they backed out and went and left.
It is highly recommended that when something like this happens and you're in your vehicle, mount the driver's seat and move far away from there to stop the chance of imminent doom coming toward that person. This happening took place in April 2019. There was this YouTuber who went by the name Jason. He was a mountain climber too. He even had a YouTube channel called Appy Mountain Trekkers, and as the name implies, he was an explorer and a devoted and highly skilled mountain climber. In this scenario, he decided to record his solo escapade in the mountains after he decided to go camping over by a mountain. His YouTube account is all about his expeditions and his adventures. He's always been an outdoor person, and his page was filled with posts on the outdoors, as he was a lover of these things. As he finished hiking up the mountain, he started to set up his tent and recorded the event that went on as he kept filming. At a point, he heard some noise but decided to just ignore it. as it could be anything. Not until late at night, when a very strange noise in the distance became too terrifying for him to bear, did he decide to come out to check it out. He reported that the noise he heard was like a cry, and like some animals or some creatures, in reference to a Sasquatch, were sending out signals to one another.
I'm still rattled. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
After he went back to his tent, he started hearing footsteps, and then the footsteps came closer to his tent and went on for a while before they vanished.
Whatever it is, it's close. Hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter.
He woke up the next morning and gave an update as to what happened that night. So many people suffer from xylophobia, which is really understandable due to the numerous things that may be found lurking in these woods, especially at night. Some are accounted for, and a ridiculous number cannot be accounted for, all in the woods. Many people stay away from the woods because of its terrifying nature, while some love and dive straight into the adventure of it. There is evidence beyond our comprehension of the existence of so many things, which has been proved time and time again that this world we live in is way beyond what we barely know it as. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more eye-opening and mind-blowing scary things to be discussed. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.